I don't know, pickleball is just like the easier version of tennis. Oh, like Iman Fandi Ahmad is doing music. Okay, do you want to actually know what I was really, really looking into like so much going into the army?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the latest episode of Help Desk. As always, I am your host Drew, and today I'm joined by Alfie. We're also joined on today's episode by singer Iman Fandi. You might recognize her last name. That's because she is the daughter of Singapore footballing legend Fandi Ahmad. We talked to her about her family, we talked to her about her love life, but we also talked to her about her newest single coming out right in time for Hari Raya. It's called Hari Raya Raya Raya. It's her first Malay song ever, so check it out. Also check out the rest of our episode, obviously. Alfie, dial it up for our viewers. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You have the famous last name, so I have to ask, how is your soccer skills? Can you hang with the boys in your family?
Not too bad, but I haven't hung with them in a while.
Okay.
But I will say I can't juggle a ball.
You can't juggle a ball?
I've never been able to, no.
Okay. What's the max you think you can do?
Maybe like 2.
Okay.
Maybe on my knees, they're like better.
Yeah. 2. Okay, that's not too bad. Do you want to try?
That's a bit embarrassing though. For like, I'm gonna embarrass my brothers.
Okay, so I guess we're not gonna put her.
Yeah. Okay, we'll try.
Okay, later. Okay, yeah, it'll be fun. I can't juggle a ball for nuts.
Okay, then we'll do it together.
We'll do a competition.
Okay, we'll see.
If I can say I beat a Fandi, that would be pretty epic.
Oh, I want to try that.
But you're picking the easiest one.
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't matter whether you win a race by an inch or a meter, you still win the race. Yeah. Okay, but we're here to talk about your new song that's coming out soon. Is that right? Can you tell us a bit about it?
So I have a new song coming out on Thursday night, actually. I mean, by the time this is out, it'll be out already.
It'll be out, yeah.
It's called Hari Raya Raya Raya. It's
Hari Raya Raya Raya.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a Hari Raya song.
Yes.
My first ever Malay song as well.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and first ever traditional kind of celebration song as well. So this is really exciting, but also a little bit nervous because it's my first time singing and having my own Malay full song.
Okay. Can you give us a little bit of a sneak preview, a few bars or something?
Sure. I mean, the easy part is the chorus. So it's Hari Raya 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 Ideal Fitri Mulia. Yeah, that's a little bit of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So a little bit of a tease for people to go and listen to it. What inspired you why did you decide that you wanted to do a Hari Raya song?
I think because I've been doing music for a while now, and then, Hari Raya is just around the corner. It's something that me and my family always celebrate during Ramadan, Eid. Whether we're all together in Singapore or apart, I think Hari Raya is like close to my family in a way.
Yeah.
So having a song felt special. And also something that's even more special is I got to have my family in it as well.
Okay.
So there's bits of pieces.
They're singing in the song?
Yeah. So
okay.
My mom and my youngest brother, Irian,
Yeah.
actually went to the studio with me and recorded some of the pre-chorus and the chorus. So you might be able to hear them there.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, because my older brothers live overseas, my dad also, they're in Thailand, and my dad also live in Malaysia now. I couldn't get them to be on the recording, but there's snippets of their voices towards the end. Like I got them to do voice notes, and then they were just doing some ad libs here and there and things like that. Yeah. So that was just a fun way to have the family in the song and be like together in a way. Yeah.
Okay. Let's not talk about your mom. The 4 brothers, right? Mm-hmm. And your dad, who's the best singer out of all of them? I'm assuming your mom is the best.
My mom loves karaoke, by the way.
So she must be pretty good.
Yeah.
And then out of your brothers, rank them, and your dad.
Okay. Honestly, I would say Ilhan's not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah, Ilhan, he's the second youngest.
Yeah.
He loved like music and singing and dancing, everything just for fun.
Yeah.
And I remember I had this video of him singing I think Ira Star, one of her songs, and he was just dancing and loving it. So I'll say it's him. Yeah, he loves to goof around.
Let's go down. Who's next?
Okay, Ilhan first. Maybe my dad next, because he also did actually have an album of his own.
Okay, yes,
and he sung for fun and all that. He also loves singing. and then Iksan, and then Irfan. And then Irian.
He's the worst. But he was the one who was actually in the studio.
Song. I wouldn't say he's the worst. He's more like shy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's more reserved.
So what was that like being in the studio with your mom and your brother? I mean,
it was really funny to actually see them in the studio for the first time. They were very serious and taking notes.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, how do you pronounce this and that? And then they were breaking it up. You know, when you sing, it's easier.
Yeah.
And asking questions. Shy at first, but towards the end, it was fun. My mom was loving it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she was like, oh,
Must
yeah.
be a dream if she sings the karaoke. But I imagine for your brother, you said he's shy in like a professional studio.
Mm-hmm.
Must have been like quite intimidating. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I guess so. And he's only 18.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a bit nervous.
Yeah. You always see those videos, you know, when they're like recording, then there's like a glass panel and the engineers are behind.
That was literally how the setup was. So we're in a specific room for the recording, and then everyone else, the producers, were behind another room. Yeah.
And then the producers will have like a mic, then they'll press the button and be like, that takes up. Can you
exactly
do it again?
Oh, yeah.
And then there was some takes that I was in the room just to make sure they were comfortable, but they were singing.
Yeah.
And then just before, I remember this one take where they were doing so well.
Yeah.
I was like so excited. And then just before they ended the recording, I was like, yes! And then I was like, oh no, I messed it up. I was the
because
one
your voice was in the... They should keep that in.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? It'll be somewhere in there.
Very nice. And okay, what's the... I mean, you sang a few lines for us, but what's the vibe of the song like? Is it like an R&B kind of thing? Or?
No, I would say it's very traditional. In a way where the moment you hear the intro of the song and the melodies, you'll kind of like feel like clapping. That's what my dad felt the first time. You'll feel like clapping, kind of like dancing a bit, and it's, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, just think traditional Hari Raya song with a twist of like modern melodies in there. Yeah, and I would say it's quite catchy as well. Yeah, very danceable. Yeah, very danceable.
What kind of dance are you talking about? How are people going to dance to this song?
Shoulders.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, shoulders, claps, maybe some of this.
Yeah. Because now, you know, like with TikTok and stuff, right? Now, like so many songs go big on TikTok. Mm-hmm. So you need the dance that everyone is
challenge.
making.
Yes, we do have a dance little challenge.
There will be a dance challenge?
Yes.
Who choreographed the dance challenge?
I had a choreographer, but at the same time, you know, to make it easier, so I helped to just adjust a little bit. Yeah. I like to dance anyways, so it was fun for me to just add in my own little twist in there. Yeah.
Okay. What is Hari Raya like in like the Fandi household?
Okay, I'll give you two scenarios of before and now.
Okay.
Because I mean, my family now, I would say we don't really get together as much for Hari Raya because everybody's schedules is quite hectic.
Yeah.
But before it was also hectic. Everybody's in the house. There's 7 of us, right? So everybody's in the house. My dad and brothers would go for prayers in the morning, and then my mom and I would just get ready, take our time and all that. And then the moment everybody starts to get dressing up, that's when all the where's my clothes, where's my socko, hey, you took this, you took that, what time are we leaving, we have to leave now, all that starts. So I would say it's quite hectic, and it can be a bit overwhelming visiting, like, you know, last time it was maybe 10 to 12 houses. So but it's always fun. Each house, you know, oh, this one has the lontong, this one has the good mee goreng, this one has the nasi lemak. So we know like which houses has what, and that was always fun to sometimes guess like what they have. But now I would say it's a bit more quieter, a bit slower, calmer. And unfortunately, I think maybe in the past 2 years or so, my older brothers haven't been back for Hari Raya because schedules clash and things like that.
Yeah. Will they be back this year?
I hope so. I mean, I am looking forward to hoping to see them soon. I might fly to Thailand before Hari Raya, but if they can't make it, then they usually do fly back on like other days and things like that.
How often do you see them nowadays?
Not very much. Yeah, and also since my dad also lives in Malaysia, sometimes maybe once a month, that kind of thing, for maybe a couple days or a week. Yeah.
Okay. Do you like it if it's quieter in the house, or?
Part of me, Actually, no, I don't like it. I was trying to think, do I like it? No, I don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of the only child in the house now. Because my youngest brother, Irian, he's in NS.
Yes.
So he's in camp most of the time.
Yeah.
And it's just me and my mom and my 5 cats.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, my cats keep me busy. But I like a busy house because that's what I grew up with. Yeah, it gets a bit lonely.
Yeah, you mentioned mom's into karaoke. Is she the kind that does karaoke at home?
Oh,
You have
my
your own
gosh.
system?
So we do have one. She bought one because our other friends have it.
Yeah.
But then she used it for like 2 weeks. And then it's just now sitting there.
Do you use it? I mean, you're a singer.
Sometimes, yeah.
Turn the reverb
Just
up.
for fun, yeah.
Yeah.
But she likes to go to the karaoke places. I guess because then the neighbors won't be able to hear her. Yeah.
Okay, top Hari Raya snacks. Which one's your favorite?
Nutella roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then like in terms of like the dish, like the actual meal, like what do you look forward to? the
Lontong.
most? Lontong.
With ketupat. Yes,
Wow,
that's my
okay.
favorite.
Very traditional.
Yes.
very
And you,
good.
do you have any favorite Malay food for Hari Raya?
I would say lontong also.
Yeah, right? It's so nice.
How about snack?
Snack, I can't say.
Pineapple tarts are also quite nice.
Oh, do you guys do pineapple
yeah,
tarts as
yeah.
well? Sorry,
I
like
feel
we're
like
super
late-
ignorant, but
No, but
I'm
I feel like
sorry.
lately there's been quite a lot of pineapple tarts also.
Yeah.
I mean, we get them, so yeah, I like pineapple tarts too.
there's
Ooh.
you know like the cornflakes with like I
The
think it's a
honey?
honey.
Oh yes,
I
yes.
freaking love that.
Yeah, I used to make
destroy
that
that.
for fun. It's really easy.
Yeah.
It's like just cornflakes, honey.
Don't
then you put
invite
them
me
in the
to your
little cup.
house if you have those cornflakes
It's
and honey
gone.
thing, because I'll there won't be any left for anyone else.
Yeah.
No open house for me with that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And you guys give out like green packets, right? So is that like a super big thing in your family as well?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So we do. So from what I do is the moment you start working, then you start giving.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but I know in
Oh.
Chinese tradition is when you get married,
Married,
then you start
yeah.
giving.
Yeah, well, typically,
Yeah.
you know, you might give your parents when you start working.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And but then it's to give other people, then it's only when you're married.
Married.
Yeah, and the
Ah.
first year you get off.
You get off?
You don't have
You
to
get
do it for the first year.
pardoned.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
It's like, oh yeah, I just got married. Give me a break, kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
My younger brother got married 2 years back, so this was the 1st year he had to give,
Mm-hmm.
and he did like those QR code things, right?
Oh,
So
like so people scan?
Yeah, like a DBS like Payla kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this year he gave 20 cents. No, 8 cents. Yeah.
To
yeah.
who?
To me
Oh.
and to everyone. And he was still complaining about how it added up. He's like, if you give like 8 cents, that's 80 cents or whatever. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. A
Alright.
tip
I've
for
never
you.
heard that
Alright.
before.
Yeah, 8. I mean, because 8 is auspicious number
Oh,
for
yeah,
for
yeah,
Chinese
yeah.
people, right? So 8
At
cents.
least
I guess.
80 cents. You
I
cannot
know,
buy
right?
anything with
Why
eight.
not like $8?
No,
Wow.
I think that's the whole
Too-
point
too
of
much.
like
Too much.
Yeah.
Because imagine if you have to give like 10 people $8. It's
Yeah.
like still
I think
$80.
he just shouldn't go out at that point.
No, but
Yeah.
people can't visit the house, and then you give oranges
Close.
because they
Oh.
just got their house, right? Oh, not. I mean, they're renting now before they get their BTO, but yeah, so people can't visit the house, and they feel like they have to give. Yeah.
Ooh, feel like just don't.
I
8
don't know,
cents is
actually.
worse than nothing,
Okay. Alfie, when you get
Yeah,
married,
I feel that, right?
right?
How do you give 8 cents though?
I think you can
So-
do it on the Payla
Oh,
thing.
on the pay
It was
maybe.
either 8 cents or
I'll feel a
88
bit
cents.
insulted. Like, okay, just don't give.
But what do you do with 8 cents? You can't do anything with
Just for the
Yeah.
token, I guess, just for the fun. Because you know
Just
what
for
you can
the
do as
fun.
well is you can attach a photo with the QR code, so it's like a selfie of him and his wife,
Oh.
and then like 8
Someone
cents.
did that to me before.
Yeah.
You.
That's quite cute. That's quite
He
cute,
sent me
actually.
a photo after I paid
Like
now,
with
paid
with
now.
my
Yeah,
with my
yeah.
Payla. Yes, I've done. I have
Yeah.
been known to do something like that. When you get married, your first year ang pao, how much are you give? You think?
It depends.
Yeah.
Right? Because if they're closer to you,
Mm,
like if it's your siblings, kids,
yeah.
then it's different. Like second cousin.
Okay, what's the
Yeah.
range you're talking about? Okay, excluding your parents, because people tend to give
Excluding
quite
my
generously to
parents,
their parents.
I think
right?
those like little kids that you see like every once a year.
Mhm.
$2.
4.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
I
they
feel
were
like now you
generous.
can't give
Four.
$2. I don't know
$2,
why.
Yeah, like 8 cents as well. I was like, wow, that's like a slap in the face.
I don't know. I just feel like they should be grateful for the $2.
$2 is
Yeah,
still
yeah.
like okay. Like
You could
maybe
buy
they can
two
buy a
country
drink.
erasers.
yeah.
That's
You can
not too
buy like
bad.
maybe like a lollipop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
ever
so
like?
depressing.
Do you go to like a Chinese friend's house and during Chinese New Year at all?
I have like a godfather who also works with the family, and he's the only person we kind of like see. Yeah, him and his sister, and then I think that's it. Yeah, I don't really go visiting for Chinese New Year.
Oh, you should. You could earn some money. Just go to the house, bring 2 oranges. Yeah.
Okay,
And
I'll take note.
I bet like some Chinese auntie would
love you.
But wouldn't they think like, oh, I'm a random person? Why are they gonna give me?
No, that's the thing.
No.
They're bound by tradition. They have to give you.
really bound by tradition.
But then they'll feel like, oh my god.
Yeah, legit like you know.
I think in the moment they won't.
Oh, okay.
Because they already have it in their bag.
But I'll feel bad. I'll be like, no.
Think about it this way: you're doing them a favor because when they give you ang pao, they get like good luck.
Mm-hmm.
It's good luck, like reciprocal.
Yeah.
Right, so like, just never feel bad about taking money from an old Chinese auntie. I think
there you go. That's the quote of the day.
that would be clipped out and like viral.
Viral.
No, not at all.
What's your favorite Haraya memory so far?
It would have to be. This happens quite often, except for maybe in the past 5 years or so. But it's always dressing up the same. So we all dress up the same colors and themes and everything. And then in our living room, this was a tradition that we used to do. Now it has stopped because everybody stopped growing. But from young, no matter your age or anything, we would do height. We would take a picture from height.
Okay.
And then each year it kind of changes.
Yeah.
So like one moment I was taller than my younger brothers, but now it's shifted and shifted and shifted. So I think that was like quite funny to look at.
Where are you now at the end?
I'm at the end.
Yeah,
I'm way at the end. Yeah. My mom is after me, and then all my dad, and then my brothers.
Oh, your mom is shorter than you?
She's taller than me.
As in okay.
Yeah.
We were actually having a conversation right before you came, guessing how tall you are.
Yeah, I get that a lot actually.
Oh really?
Because what's your height? Actually?
People think
personal question.
Oh, I mean I can see it.
Let's not start this conversation.
Okay.
People think because I can photograph tall.
Yes.
Well, this is something you learn, when you model and stuff like that, knowing your proportions and what is good and what is bad for you. But yeah, people think I'm quite tall because my other brothers are tall. But when they see me, they're like, "You're so tiny." I literally got that. Like yesterday, I was in KL doing a shoot, and I literally got that. One of the makeup artists didn't recognize that it was me that she was supposed to put makeup on because I was so small and just like, "Hi, I'm here." Yeah,
honestly, you look super tall in like photos. And like in like when you did like National Day and stuff like that, when we see you on screen.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, I thought you were gonna come in here and tower over us.
No, I'm tiny.
I'm glad to know that you are normal,
I'm average height.
Yeah. It's a lot less intimidating for me. I think Alfie's never intimidated by stuff like that. No. Modeling, singing, which one do you prefer? What are you more passionate about?
They're both something I really enjoy, and the thing is they do feed into one another. So like modeling, I feel like I get to be a different character, and it's a bit of acting as well sometimes, and that's always fun. But music is more personal, so that's why I guess I would say I enjoy it a little bit more, because it's stories that I get to tell and showcase in ways that I want. And shooting music videos is always like playing that character of the song. I remember my first music video for my first song called Time Frame. It was quite a hectic music video. There was so many elements happening, and I didn't know I had to cry. Yeah. So this was my first time even trying to cry on screen. I'm like, what? Oh my god, that's quite intense.
How do you do that?
So
fake tears, or do you have to like think about?
No,
something?
So I tried to think about something, and then it just happened. I was like, wow, that was hectic. But then after that, I was like, okay, what's next?
What did you think about? Can you say? Do you feel comfortable saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret that my mom's been having like some health issues here and there sometimes. So at that point in time, before the shoot, actually, I think like a couple of days before, that was something that happened, and I just thought about that. So yeah.
How did the whole like music thing start for you?
So I've always loved music, and I think why I loved it so much is because I used to be a dancer. I did ballet, tap, jazz, and just love dancing in general. And I'm also half South African. And every time I go to Cape Town, that side of the family is so loud and loud in a way that it's like fun and just energetic. And I remember always going there for Christmas and we would have family barbecues. Music would be playing. There's games. Everybody's dancing. So I think kind of being I don't know, exposed to that, it made me very interested in like entertainment and things like that. And when I was about 19 was when I wrote my first song, which was actually Time Frame. Fully did it, got it produced and everything, and from then on everything just like started, and I was like, yeah, okay, let's try this, and here we are.
Yeah. And how do you find like performing live? I mean, I'm sure that must be
I was so nervous.
Yeah.
It was so nerve-wracking for sure, because it's not like a picture where you do it behind the scenes and then people see the after product. It's more like people are seeing your product in real time, you know?
Yeah.
And I wasn't confident when I first started in like performing and dancing, and how am I going to maintain stamina and things like that? It's so hard, especially when you're dancing and singing at the same time. So that made me more motivated to find help and, you know, get vocal coaching, dance lessons. And honestly, it just takes a lot of practice and fake it till you make it.
So when you're on stage, I mean, you said fake it till you make it. When you're on stage dancing and singing, you're actually singing. You're not like lip syncing.
No,
I know many people
we
lip sync,
sing,
right?
Yeah,
That's nuts.
yeah.
I don't know how people can do that.
It's quite difficult, I would say, if the choreography is very jumpy.
Yeah.
So I do sometimes have a lot of jumps in my moves or things like that. So okay, we take note of that. Okay, maybe less jumpy moves, and slowly you'll learn. And also I feel like the more you do it, the more your body gets used to it, your voice gets used to it, and it will never go away, the nerves. Yeah. But 1 minute you're on stage, the next you're off, and you're like, that was so quick.
Yeah.
And then you have that adrenaline, and then you just want to go more and more and more.
Yeah. That's how I feel sometimes about these podcast interviews.
Yeah?
1 minute we started, then next minute we're done. Like, I can't remember what happened.
Yeah.
In
So
between.
sometimes it's like, try to be in the moment. I think, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys experienced this, but I mean, everything goes so fast lately, back to back, what's next and things like that.
Yeah.
And then you forget like how to appreciate what you've done or your accomplishments.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's an Asian thing, but yeah.
Yeah. How old are you this year?
I'm 25 this year.
Okay, I'm a bit older than you. Let me tell you, once you get older, it goes by even quicker.
Even quicker? Oh
Yeah,
my
dude.
gosh.
Yes. 25 onwards till now, it feels like a blur. I mean, I'm 32 this year, so...
So how do you feel?
Literally the year I turned 30, Alfie knows this, my neck and my back started hurting, and like, they've never not hurt since then. I'm not even like exaggerating, like that. It sounds so cliche, right?
Yeah.
But literally the year I turned 30, my lower back started like having constant
Issues.
pain, and my neck, like I would wake up really stiff neck.
Oh,
So, you know,
that's the worst.
watch out for that. You've got 5
I
more
already
years to
have back
enjoy.
problems. So.
Oh, serious?
But I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you've been
do.
jumping and singing at the same time. I think.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I used to do gymnastics. So then bending my back for
Yeah.
too much and doing ballet, it kind of took a toll, and I kind of have a, well, this is a bit TMI, but yeah, sure, know about it. Hyperextension. So I curve inwards like a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have to do like exercises to? I've been trying to do exercises.
Yeah, because mine are quite weak.
Yeah.
My lower back's quite weak.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. The hips, you gotta do exercise strengthening.
Exactly.
That's what I read
Yeah.
online. I seriously, if you look at my my For You page or whatever, like you know on like Instagram, they explore. A lot of it is just like lower back
Stretches.
exercises, stretches, like physiotherapy.
Yeah, tucking your tailbone and hips,
Yeah,
rotating,
for sure.
all that.
Anterior pelvic
Yeah.
tilt. Never
Oh
knew that
my
word until like
God.
recently, but
Yeah.
apparently that's what a lot of people have.
But I think I don't know if you've done it, but Pilates helps.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it. It's like a stretch and a workout.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I should. Do you do Pilates?
You can
at all,
try.
Alfie?
I feel like you should try.
I should try doing Pilates.
Yeah.
I've done spin.
Oh
I've
my
done
gosh.
yoga. Do you do?
Okay.
Have
I
you,
feel
do you
like
spin?
yoga would be good. For
Yeah,
you.
I did yoga when I was at Machagang. I haven't done it again recently, but I have been thinking about getting back into it. Yeah, it's just yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's enough of a workout.
Yeah.
But I guess you don't have to think about it that way. It could
Unless
be
maybe
more
you
of
do
like
like hot yoga.
hot yoga,
Ooh.
yeah. But then I don't know. That also doesn't. Have you done hot yoga before?
I did it once,
Okay,
but
did
I
you
just
like
feel like
it?
I sweat more. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Have you done hot yoga?
It's just in your head, I guess.
The idea of it doesn't like really appeal to me. Like a bunch of people in a
don't-
room moving very slowly, super sweaty.
Yeah, I think it's the
Isn't
slow.
it? Is it smelly? I don't know.
No,
Oh, it's not.
at least I don't smell anything.
Maybe it's just a good room of people.
But I think it's a Zen place.
Yeah.
So, to each its own. We all have our own little things that we like.
Yeah.
It's-
Obviously. Oh, go ahead.
It's your main like hobby, not hobby, maybe like sport, exercise, Pilates right now.
Right now, yes. Right now, yeah. And then I've gotten into paddle a little bit more.
Oh.
It's actually the fastest growing sport.
Yeah. Through
Yeah.
your partner. Are we
Yeah.
allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was the one that got me into it, and
Yeah,
then,
because it's super popular in Europe. That's why I asked.
yeah. So
Like
yeah, I've been a
padel.
bit
Padel.
Padel.
Yeah. If you're,
I don't know.
if you're
Everyone-
pretentious, you call it padel.
padel.
People have corrected me.
Oh,
I
really?
was like,
You're
oh
like-
yeah, you play paddle. Like, no, it's padel. And I was like,
Wait, I've actually never heard anybody say
not?
it like that.
Padel?
oh,
No,
are they
yeah.
joking?
No. When I was in Europe,
right?
I heard it like a lot. Oh, I'm going to go
Padel?
play padel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Someone corrected me recently. And I was like, oh, like, okay.
I don't know.
I mean, it's spelled paddle, but whatever.
Pickleball. Have you tried pickleball?
No, I play tennis.
Okay.
So I don't know. Pickleball is just like the easier version of tennis.
Oh wow, you're gonna upset a lot of people, including
know, I
Alfie,
know.
including
It's
Alfie.
true.
But it's just a
true.
smaller court.
Smaller
It's
court.
not so. You don't have to run so much.
Yeah.
I understand. It
Yeah.
is fun. But I've actually never gone to, hey, let's go play pickleball.
Yeah.
Like, I've never.
Do you want to try?
We
You
can?
play with Alfie and I. Alfie's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
We play often.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay.
We'll work something out after. We can go play
We've been playing.
like at least once a week.
Once a week.
Yeah.
A
That's
couple
quite
of weeks ago we played
consistent.
with
Yeah.
Xiaoming from Scanteak
Okay.
against
Okay.
him.
So did you win?
Yeah, but it's okay. Let's
You
keep that off the
did
record.
Mothership proud. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. No, do you know
Yeah.
pickleball is like a super humbling sport? I feel because you'll play with like a bunch of like older people,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
and then they'll just destroy you,
Oh, yeah.
and you'll be like, I don't understand how that happened because
Yeah.
even my back's pain, their back must be way more pain. Yeah, so you should try it.
If your mom, I mean, I started pickleball because of my mom,
Mm.
and she's like
Wonderful
not
lady.
sporty. She's not sporty at all, and it's just a great way for us to like get
Bond.
bond and get some exercise and
Okay.
get addicted to something.
Yeah.
And it's not and we can play at the same pace.
Yeah.
So I think
guess
that
so.
works for if you wanna have a new sport.
Do you
with your
need
mom.
4 people or like 2?
You can
is
play
fine?
doubles. Doubles
Mm.
is sorry. You can play singles. Singles is harder. Doubles is more fun, I would say.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
only seen people doing like doubles.
Most
Yeah.
people play doubles.
Yeah.
Singles is really, I don't know, I've really never seen
Yeah, rarely. Yeah.
like recreationally people play.
recreationally. Yeah,
Yeah.
not so much.
Because you have to run a lot more if you play singles. I
Yeah.
don't know, right? You know better. Alfie has never invited me to play pickleball with her and her mum. I feel a bit disappointed.
Well,
about
now
that.
it's like you have to,
No, I
right?
have to, and you have to come along too.
Yeah,
so
I
like
can-
we
I
have,
can be-
then we can.
so we have 4.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
No, you can partner with Alfie and then I'll
Yeah.
partner with your
Maybe I'll partner with your mom.
He really likes my mom, so
She seems like a wonderful lady.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and has raised Alfie very well.
Thank you
So I
very
would just like to commend her for that, Mrs. Kwa,
Okay.
and Mr. Kwa. I mean, good job to the both of you.
nice. Oh, actually, I wanted to go back to a little bit.
Mhm.
You were saying how you had vocal lessons after you did live.
Mm-hmm.
Did you always have vocal lessons?
Once I started doing music more and then getting signed with Universal, that was when I started to do it more consistently, like
Right.
vocal lessons. I try to go like every week, and then especially when
Still? Oh,
and then
wow,
when
okay.
there's bigger shows, sometimes twice a week, things like that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I actually do it with Daphne Koo,
Oh,
who is
yeah.
Oh.
radio DJ
Yeah.
and also
what's her stage name?
Henry?
Yes, that's right.
yeah, so she does vocal lessons
Okay.
with me, and she's an amazing person and singer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys know
Nice.
Daphne from Singapore Idol? That's
Yes,
that's how I know who
Yeah,
she
no,
is.
Yeah.
wait. I need to put a face to the name, but I definitely have heard her
Let me-
name.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
Also, that's where I heard it from, Singapore Idol.
I mean, she's a radio DJ now.
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay,
and
okay.
she does like content, I think, online.
Yeah, and
She's
she does a bit of hosting
influencer.
here and there,
Yeah.
a lot of music. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
who
it's
she
a picture
is,
of
yeah.
Daphne Crew. Yeah. Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
How did that link up happen?
So she had actually just gotten back from LA, I think about maybe 3 years ago, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to find a song that was a bit more edgy, and the songs that I was writing wasn't like edgy enough.
Okay.
And just coincidentally, my producer kind of like showed me her song, and we got into the studio. I was like, yes, I want this song. Let's record it. Let's see how I sound on it. And then she was there in the studio helping me, and also just like helping me vocally produce me when we record. And then from there, I was like, wow, you're a really good teacher, you know? Do you do lessons? And then from then, we just started like keeping in contact. And then she, does my lessons.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. I mean, what were some of your inspirations like musically when you were getting into it?
Experiences, love, sadness, traveling, other people's experiences.
Yeah.
One of my popular songs called Love Me Little More was actually based on a friend's relationship that wasn't doing so well.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have friends that sometimes talk to me about like their problems.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this would be a great thing to just write. So I wrote that for her in a way. And after I recorded it, I was like, hey.
Did you ask her permission?
Yeah. I was like,
Okay.
hey, I let her listen to it first.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, can I release this? And then she's like, oh my God, yeah. And then, ever since then, I just take inspiration from a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will say that sometimes it's hard to find inspiration, get writer's blocked, and then you feel a bit like drained. And it's like, how do you get those one-hit wonders, you know, still trying to find that. And you never really know because the algorithm changes, trends change.
Yeah.
And then 1 minute it's pop, the second minute it's rock pop, and then it goes into Afro beats, Amapiano, everything is there.
Yeah.
You know, and I think in Singapore we take in so many international acts where we listen to them quite a lot, so we don't know which we should also as artists create.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you a bit about that. I mean, like, because now it's like TikTok's like the big thing. You know, it was obviously didn't exist when many of the artists that are big now were growing up.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's really started in COVID.
Yeah.
You know,
for
in
sure.
like 2020, 2021,
For sure.
that's when everybody jumped on that.
Yeah. So how do you find being like an artist in the TikTok generation, I guess?
It's definitely helped, you know, find music listeners and followers that I guess wouldn't naturally find me because the algorithm is quite different on TikTok. But things have, I felt, changed also. Algorithms change, and then I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
So I feel like to an extent, it definitely helps a lot of creators express themselves, and then they get to find their niche.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Do you think about the algorithm when you're like putting a song together?
yeah, I think it's important sometimes. Even though I want to put out a song that I feel so deeply connected to, sometimes it's like, well, right now, summer pop is in. If I put a sad song in, that's gonna be eaten up, you know. So sometimes we have to think about these kind of things.
Okay.
So sometimes I would say that the algorithm really helps to push, and sometimes you have to really find a way to. There's no science with it. I feel. You know, sometimes I'm
absolutely.
still navigating
The
it.
most random things like become like viral.
Exactly.
sounds sometimes.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you never know what's gonna happen.
And I just find it like so crazy, like the power of it to like make or break someone. I mean, like I told you, like we had Regina's song on the thing, like, you know, she's gotten big off her song going viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
And so many artists have gotten big. Or like random like old songs
Coming back.
because like all of a sudden someone used it in a TikTok video.
Yeah, and I
find
think
that amazing.
That's amazing because also it has that collaboration between dance as well, dance and music.
Yeah.
And I think before that we didn't really get a lot of content like that.
Yeah.
So how it shows how music can be involved in so many things,
Right. Like
whether it's
comedy, or like sad.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you on TikTok much?
Yeah, TikTok I use it more for like those random funny days kind of things. Yeah, I do like TikTok. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just but my For You page is
Yeah.
just
Highly personal question. What's your For You page? Which part of TikTok are you on?
Okay, so I have three kind of like
Okay.
sides to it. So sometimes it's the beauty and
Yes.
fashion, especially like fashion transitions. I really love fashion.
Okay, that's
so
where they do like they put on clothes like then
and then
there's
they
a transi-
switch
yeah.
and things like that. So I
Yeah.
like that. Another one of it is Sims.
Sims.
I play
Like
the
the game.
Sims.
Oh.
Yes, I'm a big Sims fan.
Really? Okay.
Yes,
What goes on
Do you
in
play
a
The Sims?
Sims video though?
Did
on
you play it?
TikTok.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh,
but as in what
okay.
goes on in like a Sims
So
TikTok video?
on TikTok Sims, it's Sims TikTok kind
Yes.
of thing.
Sims talk.
Sims Talk. Yeah,
Sim
you
Talk.
get like people that create the different kind of Sims and how they look like, because
Yeah.
in Sims you can also get mods, which is like custom content.
Yeah.
And then when you do that, they make the characters so cool. And then you get builders. I'm like sounding like a nerd now,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
love it. Yeah, then you get builders. So these builders show up the different builds, whether it's a castle or like a community lot or a house.
Yeah.
And then you get those random people that play Sims in a bad way.
Okay.
So there'll be the robbers, there'll be tattoo artists, or
Yeah.
they'll be the ones like
Oh, what
being a
kind of
mafia
tattoo?
or something like that. So it can go a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And then the last is cats.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the cat talk.
Cat talk. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Sims. Wow. We should cut out that bit of you just Sims talk and then Sims talk on Sim Talk and then like put it out on the internet.
Oh, but
Yeah,
it's
I want
just
to
them
work with Sims,
creating,
guys.
yeah.
Can
Oh,
you
yeah?
help me?
How's your Sim Talk going? Like, can you do the I don't know the you know how Sims talk?
Oh, they talk in Simlish.
Yeah, Simlish. That's
so
what
they
it's
do
called.
like zoop zoop or
Yeah.
leap loop loop.
Yeah,
something like
exactly.
that.
That's really good. The rest of the podcast we should just do a half an hour podcast
They-
where we do Sim Talk.
Yeah, they literally have their own language. It's quite
Yeah.
difficult
Is
actually.
it actual words?
Yeah, so
Oh.
actually, if you play Sims, your Sims can play like listen to music on the radio or TV,
Yeah.
and the music is actually real artist music.
Okay.
So, like for
Oh.
example, Estelle Fly,
yeah,
who is a singer here in Singapore,
yeah.
she actually did like a song in Simlish
Okay.
for
The game.
the
yeah.
game. Yeah.
When
so
are you
it's
gonna
all
do that?
different artists. Hopefully soon.
Yeah?
But they have a
That'd
lot
be
of
pretty. That'd be pretty cool.
cool things. Yeah.
If you get as a big Sims fan to get a song on the
Yeah,
game.
that's like the best.
Yeah, that could be one of the highlights of your career, maybe.
Yeah,
don't
I
know,
think
who
that would
knows?
be the best thing ever.
What was the Sims game you started playing with?
The Sims game?
Yeah, because I mean, what is it now? Sims 4?
Sims 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I started on maybe 3, but I don't
Okay.
remember anything about
Yeah,
it.
that's a
so-
generation gap. I played Sims 1. Yeah.
Oh no, I started
yeah.
when it's
When
like
it was-
high
got better,
quality.
yeah.
I like that. I like it when it's high quality.
Yeah, fair enough. Do they still do like cheat codes? Like you can
Yes.
like, and then you can increase like, unlimited money or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, I'm like clueless at this point.
Yeah, and I always remember like you could do like stupid things like you could build a pool,
Yeah.
right?
And you can
then-
drown them.
Yeah, let them
Yeah.
let them go and swim in the pool, and then you delete the stairs
ladder,
to get out
yeah.
of the pool, so they're stuck always swimming in the pool.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't the avatar you?
No, I mean you can create multiple avatars.
Yeah,
you can have like a little
yeah.
family.
Yeah, you can have a family, you can have like pets,
Yeah.
you can have aliens and things like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like so at least I don't know if they still do this, but at least in the Sims that I played, when the guy dies, the Grim Reaper will come to get the
Yes.
body,
Yeah.
right? And then when the Grim Reaper comes, like the soundtrack changes, like there's like some sort of windy effect on the game.
Yeah.
Then you could delete the Grim Reaper, and then your whole game is just stuck in like death mode. Yeah, I used to do stuff
Yeah,
like that. I
and
mean, I
then-
was a pretty messed up.
And
kid.
then now when you die, you can turn into a ghost.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, serious?
Yeah.
And what can you do as a ghost?
Everything. You can still do things. You
Okay.
can haunt people as well.
Like what? Like you can walk around and like
Yeah.
interact with people.
Yeah.
That's
And
so
you'll
interesting.
still show your sim, but it'll be kind of like in a color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect segue because before we started rolling, you said that you had ghost stories.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And you
Okay.
and so you mentioned to us that you travel a lot by yourself, staying in hotels.
Yes.
Scariest experience.
So, okay, scariest experience I would say is one time I was traveling, and this was in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Actually happened quite recently. I don't know
Okay.
if I talk about it, is there going to be some funny juju? But I hope not. But it's like I was sharing a room.
Yeah.
So, but like my friend, she wasn't in the room at the time, so I was trying to go to sleep. It was quite late already. We were doing like a few shows in Malaysia, and then this I was trying to sleep. I just felt this shadow like over me.
Okay.
And something just told me, don't open your eyes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just my mind or maybe, I try not to think about it too much. But I just felt like this shadow, and I was stuck in that motion of just like on the side, lying down for quite a long.
Did you feel paralyzed?
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
And then a few seconds later, all of a sudden my friend comes back.
Yeah.
And I'm like awake.
Okay.
And then when my friend came back, by the time my friend left and came back, it was actually a couple hours. But it felt so fast.
Okay.
But it just didn't feel like a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then when I told her, she was like, "Oh, they say da 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 da."
Yeah.
So that was like my own experience, but I mean, I've heard stories, whether it's the trees and things
Do your
like
brothers
that.
believe in ghosts? Because Thailand's supposed to be super haunted.
Maybe, I don't know, but I think as I get older, the more I start to become a bit more paranoid with these things. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Like when I was younger, I remember watching ghost stories, Pontianak and all that. But now as I get older, I'm like, no, maybe I shouldn't watch, especially the Thai and
like Shudder, like those Thai horror movies, basically.
Yeah, the Thai horror movies.
Why? Because it'll freak you out, or you're worried that it will haunt you?
Both. I'm not good with horror movies at all right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
anything.
I love horror movies.
The more I travel, the more superstitious things that I do before. So I have a little thing,
Yeah.
and it's like knock on the door.
Yep.
And then say Assalamualaikum,
Okay.
greeting.
Yes.
And then my shoes, I never put them like together.
Oh.
Somebody actually told me this.
Okay.
I don't remember when or how or why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never put them together nicely. I always like kind of topple them or like put it upside down or things like that.
What's the reason behind that one?
They say if you put it nicely, then the ghost will walk with you. Like follow you, something like that. I don't know if anybody's heard of that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's true or not, but
The knocking on the door, before you go into a hotel
Yeah.
room, I've heard that one many times.
it's just to say that like if there's any spirits there, like, hey, I'm coming in. I'm just using the room for a few days.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
I do
Please
that
don't
too.
disturb
Really?
me.
I
Yeah.
do that.
I've literally
Yeah.
never ever done that.
You've
Yeah.
never done it?
No. Okay. Quick ghost belief check-in, because we've talked about this at different times in the podcast, but I think it's always worth checking in with each other to see if our beliefs have changed.
Okay.
Iman, you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Alfie, you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Drew, you believe in ghosts? I do. I'm skeptical, very skeptical.
So
Very
skeptical.
skeptical.
Skeptical in a way that you don't, or
I'm open to the idea of ghosts existing, but I've yet to
Experience.
Yeah, and we've spoken about this before. Like
Yeah.
both me and Alfie have gone ghost hunting for work. So
For
like
work,
I feel like I've been in
That's
situations where if ghosts exist, I'm bound to
Yeah.
have seen one.
No, I agree.
so even if somebody tells you a story, you're like,
So like the story that you just told, for
Yeah.
example, that makes me think of like sleep paralysis. Have you had a sleep
yes,
paralysis?
yes,
Yeah, but who knows? Because I think they don't even have a proper explanation yet for sleep paralysis.
yeah,
Yeah, so but it sounds like sleep paralysis. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, it does.
yeah.
Yeah, but I get what you mean, because we always hear ghost stories and
Yeah.
like the guys who come back from army, they'd be like, oh, this
The
and
army
that.
stories are actually like one of the more common ones
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
hear also,
Yeah, like you always hear, right? Even if it's like not your older brothers, it's like your uncle or your dad who like has been in the forest and
Yeah.
they hear this and hear that. But then
Yeah.
it's like not a full story. Like they can't really explain it either. And it's like, I don't know
Yeah.
how true it is, if they're tired, if they're just like freaking each other out.
Sometimes our minds, like I have quite an imaginative, like crazy
Right.
mind. So like
Yeah.
my story with the sleeping, it's like, yeah, maybe my mind is just going haywire. So sometimes I try to convince myself that it's not a ghost.
Yeah.
And then it's like on the other hand, sometimes you think so much that it's a ghost that
Yeah.
you believe it
Yeah.
in a way. So I mean, everybody has their own like beliefs and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and their own experience. So maybe you guys haven't felt that kind of spiritual
Yeah.
presence yet.
No, it's true. No, I will say that I don't like to sleep when I'm in a hotel room. I don't like to sleep in complete silence. So I'll have like some music or like a podcast playing in the background. Yeah.
Is it because your mind just like plays tricks on you?
Yeah, just to avoid and the sound as well, because like you don't want to hear like a random sound in the middle of the night. And multiple times I've felt like, it happens to me quite often, like especially when I'm really tired. I'll be like falling asleep and then like I'll like dream or imagine like a loud bang and it kind of wakes me up. So that's happened to me quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that.
I've experienced
Happens
it.
when I'm really tired. So like that tends to like unnerve me a little bit.
Yeah.
So like I prefer just to have like something playing, because then it I don't know. At
Yeah.
least it's not
It
like
distracts.
silence.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I also have a ghost story. Alfie's heard this one.
Oh, okay.
The listeners have probably heard this one a few times. But like I said earlier we went ghost hunting, right? So when I got back from that ghost hunting thing, I was wearing like overalls, and they were really muddy because we were walking through a farm at like 2 a.m. or whatever. The next day, I handed the overalls over to our helper, and I was explaining to her why the overalls were muddy. I was like, oh yeah, last night I went ghost hunting. And then she kind of freaked out a little bit, and she was like, what time did you get back last night? I said I got back around 3 a.m. And then she like freaked out even more, and she told me that she had a dream that she saw me coming home at night, and there was like a monster or like a ghoul following me into the house.
Yeah.
And then she asked me like, Andrew, why are you bringing that thing home? And I didn't know that something was following me. So this is the dream, right? And then I step into the house, she wakes up. She goes to check that all the windows and the door is closed, and she notices that the time is just past 3 a.m., which is what time I returned home. So that, like, a little bit freaky, but then I would have thought something would happen. I haven't been haunted since then, so I don't know.
So where did you go?
There's a video of it on YouTube. You can search for it. We went to, like, it was an abandoned farm that some dude had murdered his lover, and he tried to burn her body in that farm.
And it's a true story.
Yeah, it's a true story. You can look
I'll check it out.
The dude, you can search up the story. The guy strangled his girlfriend in a car at Gardens by the Bay, then drove the dead body to this farm, which it's like Yio Chu Kang or some area like that. Chua Chu Kang maybe? I don't know. It's just like this really abandoned.
It's not there.
That's where you live, right?
I know. It's where I live.
Yeah. You didn't want to be scared.
Yeah, I don't want to be scared.
No. I want some Kang. I don't know. One of the true Kangs or whatever. And then he tried to burn the body in this place. So then the ghost hunter, they're like these live streamer ghost hunters. Alfie's done a thing with them before as well. They kind of go and explore and stream. So I walked with the guy through the dark. That was about it. That's about it. Yeah. You can look up the story, Gardens by the Bay. Or something.
We've both gone to like this paranormal investigation.
Okay.
So like this guy is like a live streamer. So he goes on like TikTok and I don't know where else. And he brings his viewers to like adventures basically. And his was like a what was it, possession or something like that.
Yeah, the dude performed the possession. Like they have a name for it. I can't remember what it is right now, but they do like a ritual.
Okay.
To get possessed. Yeah, I didn't. It's bizarre. It's super bizarre.
Why do people want to get possessed?
I don't know.
Views. No, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but it's so interesting because when I was going through my own experience, there were like noises in the forest. I went to Mount Pleasant. It's just this like old graveyard. Obviously a bit scared because it's super dark.
And it's a graveyard.
Yeah, it's a graveyard. I mean, like, it's just the bad vibes already, but I didn't feel anything scary. And every time I heard like a sound, I'd be like, there's a bird and stuff. And then the guy was like, are you sure it's a bird? Like, it's just someone like making you think a little bit more. But like, okay, going back to like hotels and like staying alone, right? Are you still scared of?
Yes.
What do you do to like comfort yourself?
This is like a habit. I don't know when it started, but what I do is I do turn on at least like a baby light, like in the bathroom or something, just so I can see. Yeah. Especially if it's a bigger hotel room where where there's so much space. And then sometimes, I don't know why, but imagine this is the bed, right? Then there's like a chair that faces the bed. So I always think
That's so
somebody
freaky.
is going to sit in that
Oh,
chair.
wait, you mean like a little like sofa couch
Yes,
kind
yes,
of
those
situation?
sofa couches things.
Yeah.
Are,
No,
they
I know,
always face the
yeah.
bed, right?
No, that freaks me out.
So
too.
I always turn that away or move
Okay.
that, and then I dump stuff on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, the more
But
I look
sometimes
at
that
the
could freak you out
empty-
if you put like a jacket on it or something like that.
Oh
It looks
yeah,
like you
yeah,
have
yeah.
someone
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I try to put stuff on or like get rid of that, and then when I lie down, I'm usually in the middle of the bed. I put a pillow like at each side, so and it has to touch me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I
Guardrails.
turn, I can feel there's something there.
Yeah.
Because then, if there's nothing there, and then if I wake up in the middle of the night or feel something, I know something is wrong. So I want to feel that something is there because I'm the one that put it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just something that I do.
If I was you, this is what I would do. I would turn on the TV, put on YouTube, search your dad's goal compilations, and just have that play on loop. So at least you know your dad's with you.
I've never tried that one.
You can-
so maybe
free tip for the
maybe
next
we'll
time
see.
you,
Yeah, then I'm
you're
like, oh,
traveling
it's
by
okay, my
yourself.
dad's there. Yeah.
Yeah, you can have that one
Yeah,
for
yeah.
free.
It won't even be his voice. It would just be like,
The commentators.
oh, like,
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
crowd cheering. I don't know.
Yeah.
That could be comforting. I mean, speaking of your dad, obviously you have the famous last name. Do you think that has helped or hindered your journey as an artist?
I think it's a mix of both. I think it's helped in a way where it's created interest into what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like Iman Fandi Ahmad is doing music or like, getting into modeling or whatever she's doing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, why? That interest, it kind of like sparks people in a way. And then it's hindered I feel like in more ways sometimes.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh, you got this because of your parents.
Yeah.
When it was actually they didn't know that I was getting into the music industry. Or even when I was modeling, I remember my first ever modeling competition. I was 14 years old. I actually signed up on my own. I didn't tell my mom
Oh,
until
okay.
I got in
Yeah.
to do the audition because there was so many rounds and things like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't want like my parents to be, in a way, I didn't want them to be beside me the whole way because
Right.
then people would just see that it was because of them.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
that is something that sometimes it's hard to move away from. Then I would also say that, besides you got this because of your parents, it's because of the name, things like that, it makes it hard to prove things sometimes. So I
Yeah.
feel like I always have to prove that I'm doing this on my own, or like, I accomplished this because of my own
Yeah,
things.
dude.
And
Yeah.
it just makes me feel like I have to work a little bit more harder sometimes. And
Yeah.
I think lucky enough for me, I don't get that comparison.
Yeah. Like the way your brothers would.
Yeah, unlike my brothers sometimes. So being the middle child also, I think sometimes there's more eyes on me because I'm the only girl
Yeah.
too. So then it's like, oh, if she's doing something, it's because of the parents. If she's not doing something, she's the lazy sibling.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So you never know how to go with it. So, and I do get comments like, oh, nepo baby this and that.
yeah,
but
that
I'm
was a
like-
big thing like 1 or 2 years back.
Yeah,
right? I was
and-
talking about that.
To be honest, it's like, yeah, but how do I say?
What can you do about
yeah,
it? Right.
I cannot choose the parents that I was born with.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I can do is try to live my life and make the best out of what I want to accomplish. And something that my dad also always said is like, no matter what you want to always do, be humble, respect people, and things like that, but also like have a backup plan. So even though he was very supportive of me doing music and modeling and traveling, he was always like, do your studies, make sure you get your degree, things
Yeah.
like that. He was quite strict in those ways with
Okay.
me.
What's your degree in?
Psychology.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wanted to do something in business or media as well, but I was like, my life is kind of media already. So I
Yeah.
wanted to really learn about something that I didn't know anything
Okay.
about.
Right.
So that's why I went into psychology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you study?
I studied at TMC Academy,
Okay.
and it was affiliated with University of Northampton. So
Yeah,
it was
okay.
kind of like a bit online as well.
Yeah.
Because it was during COVID times actually.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
then I
right.
That's
did
such
it.
a bummer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I imagine that it, with your brothers, definitely the name would weigh heavily for them, right?
Yeah.
Especially in Singapore. But then at a certain point, it's are they good at football or not? Because that's like kind of obvious to a certain extent, right? You either have the skills, you either score the goals or defend the box well, or you don't, right? But with you, it's not so easy to say like she's 100% a good singer or the songs she writes are 100% good, because you know art is so subjective anyway.
Exactly.
So it's a lot harder for you to prove that you actually deserve to be on this stage.
Yeah, it's very subjective, like you say, and also I think having to feel like I had to grow up quite quickly, learning things a bit on my own as well, being the only girl. I felt like there were times where I had like a midlife crisis. It's like identity crisis.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what am I doing with my life? Things like that. And slowly along the way, you just have to take it day by day, honestly, and just like enjoy the moments as they are.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is that, you know, before music and modeling, I was doing track and field.
Okay.
I was in the sports school as well.
Yeah.
So I learned that if that didn't make me happy, and I felt accomplished with what I had done, and I wanted to move into the next chapter.
What was your event?
A lot of sprints and relays and a bit of hurdles here and there.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've learned that in each chapter of your life, it's okay to have a different career, goal, dream, whatever it is, because that's how you grow. That's how you grow as a person, you know, as a sibling or as a friend, anything like that.
Yeah.
And if somebody says, oh, you're changing so many jobs or dreams, or like you're so adventurous and doing too many things, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to identify what you like. And if you like modeling at one stage, and then it all of a sudden goes into music, so what? You know what I mean? We all have a lot of interests.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice, very nice. Alfie, go on.
Did you have any interest in moving towards like sports?
I did in the beginning. When I used to live in Indonesia for 4 years, and when I was there, I was actually doing.
The dad was coaching over there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So when I was there, I was actually doing more football.
Okay.
So I was in like a team and everything.
What was your position?
Defender.
Okay.
Yeah, I like defense.
You like putting in the tackles?
Yes. I would say the girls are quite sometimes play rougher than the boys.
Yeah, okay, I'm sure. Yeah,
so
I can imagine that.
That was always like a bit fun. And then when I moved back to Singapore, football for girls was not as popular. Like there wasn't CCAs for it or anything like that. So that's when I went into track and field. Yeah.
Right.
And then from then, that was how I kind of like transitioned into track and field. And then I kind of lost interest with that at one stage. And then I went more into the entertainment industry.
Okay.
But I always thought like if I did do sports full time, I feel like it would have been more in the like dance area of sports. Yeah. Like
when did that
rhythmic
start with
kind of
you?
thing.
Like this passionate interest with dance? You did gymnastics, you did ballet.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier jazz as well.
Yeah. So where did it come from?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I think my mom just put me in a class and I liked the music and I was just like, okay. But I did not like ballet. I found it too slow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's why I preferred the others, like hip hop and jazz maybe and tap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I got one more question for you before we get to the advice questions, if you don't mind. If you weren't a singer, if you weren't a model or doing dancing, what do you think you'd be doing?
Okay. Do you want to actually know what I was really, really looking into like so much before when I didn't know what to do in my life?
Yeah.
Sure.
Go
I
on.
was actually looking at going into the army.
Oh.
Yes.
That'd be so badass.
I know. But like, I was really looking into it. I remember that were like, I think it was like my brothers, maybe ORD or something. And then they had flyers, you know. So I took one of the flyers for the women's army.
Yeah.
So I was looking into it, searching up, and then I realized like it's quite hectic. No, because I want
They don't give you a medal after you finish the IBBT.
No.
You can get medals, but you have to do like really hectic stuff.
Yeah, and I wanted to challenge. Like, it was something that I was like, okay, I want to challenge. I love adventure. I was thinking it in a way. It was like, oh, I get to do obstacle course, you know, like Outward Bound or something. Like I was thinking about it like that. I was maybe like 18 or something and really looking into it. But no, it's way, way more than that. And I think you
damn.
have to sign on for a while also.
There's like a
you know?
bond.
Yeah, I think it's 5 years or something like that. I'm not too sure. But yeah, that was something I was looking into.
Oh,
but
dude. Did you speak to your parents about it?
I think I mentioned it maybe
Okay.
to my mom. Yeah.
What did she say anything?
I don't remember. Yeah.
Okay.
But that was something that I'm glad I didn't like, go through with it because I don't think I would have survived.
Oh man, someone at MINDEF right now is like, they're like, oh man, we missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
You would have been the poster girl for the army. I
No,
bet.
for sure.
Because I feel like I really love traveling and I think that's something you can't really do
Yes.
that much.
Okay.
For sure.
So I think it's a lot of responsibility also to get into that. The moment you're in, you cannot really back out,
Yeah.
So another thing was that's why I got my psychology degree was to go into early childhood.
Okay. Yeah. You like
care.
kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like more of daycare and kindergartens. I
Yeah.
like working with kids and whether it's play therapy or just play and a little bit of learning ABCs.
Yeah.
I always thought I wanted to do something like that because when my mom was when we used to live here, my mom was younger. When I was still quite young also, I remember she used to work at a daycare.
Okay.
And I would tag along. And I went to this daycare and she helped out and I remember how fun it was to just be there. So I think that was something that kind of traveled into my brain and I was like, maybe that's an idea. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. So cool. Imagine if
Wow, you have multiple paths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a bit sometimes
And it's
all
so
over the place.
different.
It's all very different,
No, but I think it's it's a good thing. Duality of a person.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
exactly what you said earlier, right? It's not wrong to have different. There's nothing wrong with having different
Yeah.
goals at different stages of your
And
life.
I think when you're young, there's sometimes a lot of pressure, especially when you finish secondary school. I think there's a lot of pressure to know what you want for poly and uni and everything like that. But we're still so young, we don't know what we want truly.
For sure.
And I think sometimes you change your mind so many times, whereas when you stick to one course you might realize that this is not what you want and it's okay to shift. And I think
absolutely.
having that support system and I mean, if you can find that support system and even that place where you can experiment and try a little bit of this and a little bit of that, it can really help you like find your goals and dreams and your passion.
Yeah. There's, like with sports people, because obviously their career ends at quite a young age for their sporting career. And you always hear stories of people who they don't know what to do after they're done with their career and they find themselves feeling very lost and not sure how to do anything. I feel like for regular people like us, maybe not, you're not a regular person obviously, but you go through these phases where you have different goals and different ambitions in life, and so when one thing ends, you don't feel so lost because you know that I can go to the next thing. That you've already experienced that you've already had that experience of, oh, this was my goal at this stage, now I've got a new goal, now I've got a new phase in my life. But with people who are so like one track minded or focused on something, I think they often struggle to have goals after they're done with the thing that was their life's goal for the longest time.
And it can be very scary, even I feel scared sometimes, like still transitioning into something new, because it's like, oh, what will the outcome be what I want? Will it be will people support me in this decision, and will it, I don't know, whether it's income or happiness or even just goals in that career, it's like, will you reach these targets? And I think sometimes these thoughts of the what ifs and this won't happen and the negativities of it all can stop us from all that. But actually going back to like the a lot of athletic people, they once they finish, I've heard a lot of them go into golf.
Okay.
Because
because
it's something that you will never ever really be good at, in a way where the game will always change. Some days you have good days, some days you have bad days. So I've heard actually a lot of people going into golf.
Your dad into golf?
No. He's into watching basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. So I had one thing that I wanted to ask you about.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you were saying like looking at your goals for like different phases in your life. So as a artist now, what are your goals, or like what would make you think like, wow, I really like made it?
Honestly, I feel like I'm still finding that moment.
Right.
You know, sometimes I get it, whether it's doing the NDP in 2023. I was like, oh my God, like in a way I felt like it was a surreal moment
For sure.
where that time it was at the Padang and my dad used to play at the Padang. So it was like, oh, now I'm here performing for National Day. I felt like I was giving back and there was some feeling of wholesomeness for me. And I was like, in a way, I made it. But then after that ended, I was like, okay, so what's next? I don't know. I feel like maybe I didn't know how to appreciate or recognize my successes in that way, and that makes it hard sometimes to identify what's my next goal.
Right.
And when I like now, for example, my next goal is to, you know, make it big outside of Singapore. And although I am still trying to grow here, it can be hard with so many I wouldn't say competition, but you know, everything's moving so quickly that things are limited. You know, there's only so many shows and festivals and concerts we can have here in Singapore, right? So if I'm not gonna get it, of course someone else will. And in that way, it's like, okay, so without just looking at Singapore, where else can I look at? And something that does and can you know, pull me down is that for how many times you're trying, oh, it's not working. Like, why didn't this make it that big as what I thought? The numbers aren't meeting this and that. Then you get a bit demoralized. So that can sometimes hinder my goals of reaching things. So I would, to answer your question, I would say sometimes I'm still searching, but my main thing is still there to make it big in a way where I feel like accomplished. And I think that's hard to recognize sometimes in ourselves. So
Your newest song is your first song fully Malay, right? So is that something that you're looking to do more of, like sing, like do Malay songs?
I guess so, because I mean, our target audience for me is like Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, a lot of the Southeast Asia region. We're trying to target, and that is kind of where most of my listeners are also. So doing more Malay songs also, I feel like I'll be able to resonate with the community a bit better, and have a bit more of this connectivity with people, and I think it will reach a bit more rather than just in Singapore. So I mean, it's something I'm looking forward to. Of course, scared because I've never also sang a Malay song live before. So this will be things that I'll learn throughout the way.
Very nice. Okay, shall we do advice questions from the audience? Yeah, you ready for that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I actually haven't seen the questions today yet. So
these are questions that the audience ask.
Yes, they've written into us with life decisions that they have. And then we try and, I don't know, give our 2 cents on
I
it.
feel like a therapist now. Okay.
Yes, get into that mode.
we are the clients.
Yes. Tell me your problem.
Okay, but before we get into it, if you are watching this right now, if you have some sort of life decision that you're grappling with, some sort of dilemma that is keeping you up at night, you can write into us with that problem at the link that is on your screen right now. You can find that exact same link in our show description. Write to us there, and who knows, you know, you might get someone as talented as Iman Fandi
answer
your question. Okay.
So you're a psychology major.
Yes. Oh,
okay, we shall try.
All
we
of
will
us
try
to answer some of these questions.
Yeah, with the glasses and everything, you're like.
Yeah, I feel like this outfit is very like. Yes, please lie down.
Not too bad.
You want your pillow?
Love it.
Put
love it.
our legs up and like.
Okay, shall we do the first one from a viewer named Cheryl?
Let's do it.
Cheryl writes, I realize a lot of my friends are toxic and backstabbing, starting dramas, spreading rumors about others, etc. I decided to cut them off because I don't think I want those bad energy around me. But I also know that there's a saying about the people around you speaks a lot about you. Does that mean I am a toxic person too? Does that mean I'm a toxic person too? Cheryl?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because you have recognized what you don't want.
Yeah.
And this just shows that there's a difference between your character and, you know, your friends or ex-friends characters. So I feel like I already identifying what you want as a person in your friendship, in your circle, you're already making that good decision of like, you know, making things better.
Yeah.
So in a way, I'm like, you're already putting in the efforts to change things for the better.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't see yourself as a toxic person because you have a good heart already.
Yeah.
And it's like you know, like they say, like she said actually, the energy around you attracts also, you know, and you don't want to surround yourself with negative energy because then you're also going to get drained. If you feel like all these things are wrong, you're going to feel that all the time. And is that something you really want? So I think that's a good decision to free up some space. Have
It's a lot
time
nicer
to
the way you said it and cut them off.
and then free up some space, you know, and then slowly you'll learn that the people who are meant for you will come to you.
Absolutely.
I feel like you're speaking to my soul. Like,
Wow.
Do you have toxic
Thanks.
people that you need to cut out,
No.
Alfie, or to free up space
To free
in your
up
life?
space.
in
I
your
love
life?
it.
Free
I
up
love
space.
it.
That's a
I
nice
think
way to put
sometimes
it.
we're scared, especially when we have friends that are, you know, from primary school or poly. We're like, oh, is it okay that I cut them? I'll feel bad if I don't talk to them. What will they think and things like that? But as we grow older, we grow up. And things change, people change, whether it's for the good or the bad or whatever it is. It's like you start to change your friendship groups, let's say, and that's okay. Because then what I've learned also, it's each friend that you meet, whether it's a colleague from work, whether it's a friend from long time ago, family friend, cousin, or a primary school friend, or your boyfriend or girlfriend, they all have specific roles to help you. So you wouldn't go to your parents about relationship problems sometimes, but you might go to your best friend, right? And then for work problems, you wouldn't go to your boyfriend or girlfriend because they wouldn't understand. So maybe you'll go to a colleague friend. So things like that shows that relationships in different areas are important. And if there are relationships that are toxic or bad and negative, and you feel that, they're not going to be the ones that are going to give you the good advice when you need them.
That reminds me of something I saw on social media recently, which the quote was something that went, when someone disappears from your life, like when, you know, because when you grow up, sometimes you just don't see people anymore. So when someone disappears from your life and you never see them again, it's because you no longer have anything, they no longer have anything to teach you about life anymore. So like it's something about how the universe arranges these things. I don't know if I exactly believe that, but I don't know, it's kind of a nice,
I like to
nice
believe
sentiment.
that things happen for a reason. And you're right, you know, like each person teaches you something, and the moment they're gone, it's like you've learned everything that you needed. The thing I would say about Cheryl's situation, I mean, she asked if she's a toxic person too. I don't know enough about you, Cheryl, to know if you are a toxic person. I don't think it really matters, you know, because you can decide today to no longer be a toxic person. It doesn't matter if you were a toxic person in the past. The thing about the friends thing as well, you know, there's a saying about the people around you speaks a lot about you. You might have had these friends from when you were in primary school, and then you grow up, people change, right? So maybe they weren't toxic when you first became friends, now they're toxic. Doesn't mean that you might just have that friendship with them from the past. And it's not because you're a toxic person. And also you might be a bit more harsh on yourself, you know, and thinking that sometimes we feel like, oh, we're bad and things like that. So don't be so hard on yourself.
Is this something that you guys have done?
Cut
people off because they're I don't know, freedom from your life because they're toxic.
I've never had to like cut cut. No.
Okay.
For sure.
But
But I don't think I would have the guts to cut.
Really?
Yeah.
Like so when we say cut, you mean like literally just tell the person, sorry, I don't want to hang out anymore?
Have you ever done that?
No,
Have
I've
you
never.
ever-
No,
but I
I've
know
never
people
done
who
it.
have.
I've
I feel-
known people who have,
Yes.
which is so crazy to me.
I've known a couple friends that had similar instances, like Cheryl, and they had to cut them off because it wasn't helping helping their own lives and things like that. And honestly, it was the best decision that they did, because after all that time apart, the person that came back as a better person also.
Oh, okay.
And the relationship mended, and you know, so sometimes you need space apart to grow. Yeah. And whether that's for you or for the other person, honestly, it works both. It will help benefit both ways.
Something if you really care for that person, sometimes it's best to give them like a wake up call, right?
Yeah.
To say that you know what you're doing is unacceptable. I can't handle it. You know, you need to think about it.
Yeah. And if you see that something is being done that you're not so supportive of, or like not what you want in your life, you can always slowly back away. You don't have to get so deep into it that you have to feel like this is the time I have to cut you off. You know, slowly I feel like you will be able to see things and a pattern. Yeah,
nice.
I would definitely slowly back away. I think I have, for sure, like back away, and then once they come back and they're like, they get the message or whatever, and they're like, okay, hi, welcome back. Yeah.
Okay, shall we move on to the next question? Alfie, you want to do it?
Okay.
Who?
This question is from someone called Hoo.
Oh.
And it says, this is very stupid, but basically, after seeing how maturely this guy took my rejection, I started to see him in a more positive light. And I don't know, along the way, I began to develop feelings for him. I guess it's also because of the emotional attachment built because we used to talk quite regularly before that. I don't know what to do, but I also don't feel it's the best to tell him, because it may be a backwards move and stop him from moving forward. What should I do?
I can feel that. That was a lot in there.
Is undecided whether she likes this guy or not. Basically,
does the guy know?
Not yet, but basically, she rejected him. And after he took it well, she's like, "Ooh,
maybe
he took it well."
But do they like each other?
I don't know.
He obviously likes Hoo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. I mean, I don't know if it's a guy or girl, but Hoo didn't like them at first. Wow. Interesting. Your experience with this, Alfie?
Wow.
There's a show. Okay, I can't remember, but I remember this scene of. Like it's a romance movie. I can't remember, but it was when like the guy finally put his foot down. It's like, I'm just not gonna chase you anymore, and the girl's like, oh damn.
Yeah.
You know, it's like very difficult, but you know what I mean.
I mean, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes we like the chase.
Yeah.
You know, like the chase is nice, and then the moment we realize, oh, this guy is not chasing, we're like, oh yeah. You know. Wow, this question is like, so what do you do, right?
Yeah. Like
honestly,
any advice?
I think what I would do is, if you realize that you have feelings for him, but he rejected you. Wait, why is that gonna? What?
I'm really confused. No. He basically confessed to her.
To Hoo.
Oh.
No, he sorry. Yeah.
He confessed to Hoo.
And Who rejected.
Yeah.
This is the most confusing question ever
I'm
done.
sorry. Yeah, I was like, wait.
Okay. So he rejected Who.
Yes.
Rejected.
This
guy.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after rejecting and him
after Hoo
taking
rejected
it very
the guy,
well,
she
was like, or she or he was like, oh damn. Like
maybe I do like him.
Okay.
Yes.
So I get it. That took a while.
No.
It
took a while for me
Okay.
too.
So I think like, because you don't know whether you like this person or not.
Yeah.
Take time to get to know them.
Okay.
And then see how that is. Because if it's just that, if you want the chase, you can get that from anyone.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you don't want to be playing with people's feelings in a way where it's like you're gonna get close to them.
Yeah.
And you know they like you, but then the moment you realize you actually really don't like them, you're gonna back off, because that's gonna hurt them.
Yep.
So I think what can help you identify like if you really like them or not is just to spend time, and that will kind of tell. Yeah, because if you also don't spend time, then you're just gonna be kind of thinking about, do I like this person or not? You know, things like that. So I think for me, I'm thinking like time will tell.
Yes. Okay. Alfie, what do you think?
I think it's because he stopped chasing.
So she
she's
doesn't.
like,
Who doesn't actually like the guy?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's the initial like, oh shit, I made a mistake because he's gonna stop chasing.
But also, is he the kind that will come back?
Maybe he isn't. Maybe he's like, maybe this
That's,
was like the
is
final.
that the maturely taking the rejection?
Like, oh yeah, okay. Maybe the maturely taking it was like, okay,
they're not gonna
I'll
talk
stop,
to each other.
I'll stop chasing you. Like, we'll be friends. Like, this is, like, I will stop this. Then she'll be like, oh damn, that's.
Then maybe now it's time for you to chase him.
Well,
I don't
then
know.
It's like a rom-com.
Yeah.
This is the start, middle, and end of a rom-com.
What do you think?
Well, there's a bit in there where he says, I don't know what to do. I guess it's also because of the emotional attachment built because we used to talk about quite regularly before that. So I feel like just based off the question, maybe the person stopped talking, and then she kind of misses that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give Hoo some tough love. I think that he or she's being selfish, and she should not stand in the way of this guy moving on.
Yes.
She's aware of that. This is a backward move.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like she knew when she rejected him that she didn't like the guy, and now maybe you miss having like someone
The attention.
the
or something.
attention. Yeah, you miss having someone to talk to. Spend some distance apart. Let the guy move on.
Yeah.
Maybe you can rebuild the friendship.
Yeah.
Right? And then who knows, if something happens down the line, something happens down the line. We've seen so many rom-coms where that's the exact same thing that happens, but
Yeah.
don't force it. Don't try and hold on to something that isn't meant to be yours, I think. That's how I tell
I
people.
think that's a good way to put it,
Yeah.
because this kind of situation is actually kind of what
Oh?
me and my partner,
Okay.
similar,
You
went
rejected
through.
him?
No, it wasn't really much of a rejection, but so we went on one date,
Okay.
and I thought I liked him,
Yeah.
but then something was just like a bit off.
Yes.
That I was like, I don't know, no. So then years went by actually, and then in 2021 we were talking as friends, but very spaced apart. Like,
Okay.
hope you're doing well, happy birthday, those kind of things. And then 2021, we kind of rekindled the friendship.
Yeah.
And we hung out. And then in this time, we both matured in our own ways. And and then we actually went on a proper date after that.
Okay.
And that's how I was like, oh, wait. These were things that I was not taking into consideration. I was being very close-minded about, last time stuff and all that. And I started to like him, actually like him. And then we got together. Yeah. So it's like, sometimes you have to let that space for each other to grow. Don't be selfish and do your own things. And then if it's meant to be, things will slowly come in place. Yeah.
Yeah, good advice. For the guy that was rejected by Hoo as well. Bonus advice.
Yeah,
for him.
and it's okay if they go into another relationship, you go into another relationship. If you're happy, be happy. And who knows? I mean, in other relationships or like when you figure out your life, you might realize that you really like this guy. You can't stop thinking about this person or girl.
Yeah.
And that's when you can always just reach out and say, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Your partner's from the UK.
Yes.
Is he into football?
Yes.
Okay. Does he play football?
He would hate that.
Which part of the UK is he from?
He's from Surrey.
Okay.
Which is not too far from London. It's like 30 minutes.
What team? Does
What
he
team?
support? Yeah.
Arsenal.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he would definitely hate it now because Arsenal's about to lose the Premier League to Liverpool. But the question I really wanted to ask, is it intimidating for your boyfriend who's into football? Because your brothers and your dad are so good at football.
So what I didn't know, so this is when, what do they call it? The invisible line or something, in the world. I don't know if you heard about it, but he actually used to go to my dad's like football club thing. And my dad used to train him. And then he used to also play against and also with my brothers sometimes.
Okay.
When he was younger and more into playing football.
Yeah.
And then of course when he met my brothers and dad, he was a bit nervous.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say he's like intimidated.
They immediately
anything.
had a juggling challenge.
No. Yeah, because he doesn't play football.
Yeah.
He just does it for fun.
What's your dad like with your like boyfriend? Does he like, when the first time you meet like the boyfriend, do you try and like intimidate the guy?
No.
Let him know, don't mess around with my daughter?
No, my dad's actually the kind that will kind of just sit back and watch, with his eyes.
Observe.
Okay.
Yeah, observe. He's very I would say he's quite shy
Yeah.
when he meets people for the first time. But honestly, if you know him, he's like a little boy sometimes. Like he makes jokes. He's always laughing and doing different things. It's quite cute actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with my boyfriend, slowly with time, they will form like their own relationship because my dad. We don't see each other a lot.
Yes.
So yeah.
How about your mom?
Oh, my mom is quite close with
Okay.
my
That's
boyfriend.
nice.
Yeah. Every
Yeah.
time I'm on a call, she says hi and ask questions, things and that, jokes
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
Bonus tip for like guys who are courting girls, always get in the good books of the parents, I think. Helps a lot.
for
They say you must always
sure.
get in the good books with the moms first.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure.
Yeah.
But
I-
it depends if you're like daddy's girl.
Oh yeah, then maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I always feel if I love someone, I'm gonna help them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if my parents are being intimidating, I'm like, hey, stop.
Did he bring a gift when he met them the first time?
Yeah, flowers.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
Pro
wow.
move,
Of
pro
course,
move.
the
Good
bonus,
job,
Yes,
good
the
yes.
job.
You
bonus
must.
present.
You must. Bonus
Yeah.
advice. You must
Bring
a present.
something, chocolates
Yes,
or something.
exactly. Even something small.
Yeah,
Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is. It's the effort that counts.
Wow, not bad.
exactly.
Okay. Shall we move on to the last question?
Yes, let's do
Okay.
it.
Why don't you read the last question?
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
I
Do you want
shall.
to pass it the card?
There you go.
It's
Is it
the
this
last
one?
one.
The
The
last
last
one.
paragraph.
Oh, okay.
At the end.
Ooh. Okay. This is from Titus. I hope I'm saying your name right.
Yep, Titus.
I'm in a long distance relationship with my Turkish girlfriend. We have been dating for a good 8 months now. Congratulations. We had our ups and downs throughout, and we really want to visit each other. However, my parents and her parents don't allow such visits, and it's hard for her because she's not from a very well-off family. I heard advices such as do things that you won't regret, or regretting not take action is worse than regretting after taking action. Okay. I really want to visit her and have been working part-time and saving up for the trip. What should I do? Visit? Respect my parents and limit myself by not visiting? Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
This
Okay.
is I feel like a lot of people maybe go through this.
Yeah.
Whether it's far or even close by.
Oh yes.
You
Yeah.
know,
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like a lot of people go through this. Yeah. So do you guys know?
To do it or not to do it, right? The big
Yeah.
gesture.
Well, it's also about the parents, right? The
Oh,
parents
fair.
aren't into the idea.
But I'm into the idea of traveling, right? Not the relationship. What was it?
However, my parents and her parents don't allow such visits.
Visits
And it's harder
as
for her
in
because
the
she's not from a very
relationship
well-off
or
family.
I think because it's far. I
Yeah.
would assume
Yeah,
because
maybe.
it's far and maybe they've never met.
Yeah.
I'm
in a
assuming
while.
they're pretty young.
How old are they? Yeah.
How
If
old
you're
are
above
you?
the age of 30, you don't have to listen to your parents. I
Yeah.
think.
I think above 25. You're
Yeah, I
You
think
don't
it depends
listen
how
to your
old
parents
you.
anymore?
Wait, what?
Yeah, if I'm assuming that they're pretty young, because probably part-time job.
Okay, what is
Yes,
young?
Okay.
18 to 20?
That's quite young.
To
yeah.
21. 18
Yeah,
to
okay.
21. Under that is a bit much. I would say no.
Yeah.
But if you're 18 to 21,
Listen to parents?
I think listen to parents first.
Okay.
Or travel with
Because-
your parents.
Ask your parents to come. Yeah,
Yeah.
work harder, save up more money, bring your parents on the trip to
Mm.
Turkey.
Yeah.
Turkey's a great place. Have
Or
you been
meet
before?
in the middle,
No.
so it's not as expensive.
Yeah.
And then like, if
Yes.
I wouldn't go against my parents to do this, because it's just gonna be worse.
Yeah.
If you eventually get together, it's just gonna be that like a stain. in
Yeah.
their
They're gonna
memory.
have a
Mm.
perception of your
Yeah.
girlfriend already.
Yeah, so I wouldn't do that. Yeah, me in the middle. Maybe it might work.
You're 25, right?
Yes.
If your parents said now they don't like the long thing, what
Mm.
would you still listen to them? Because we're assuming this person is young. So what if
Yeah.
they're a little bit older?
Mm.
I think it depends on family dynamic because my parents just kind of leave me to
Yeah.
do whatever I want
Yeah.
and figure out life as it is.
Yeah.
They're not very involved when it comes to like,
Right.
oh, if I travel, I have to ask them first. Usually,
Mm.
when I was younger, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think as I get older, also with communication, I tell them like, hey, I'm gonna be away from this to that, and I tell someone, you know.
Yeah.
And something that my parents have always instilled in us is that no matter where we are, who we are with, they always want to have that trust. So
Yes.
even if we're out late, we tell them, hey, I'm gonna be home before
okay.
12 or at 11,
Yeah.
I'm out with this and that. And then they leave us to it. They don't ask
Okay.
questions otherwise. I think it's more like a safety thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I do remember when I had a job in Germany,
Okay.
I was supposed to fly to Hamburg
Yeah.
alone for a modeling job. And my dad said no.
Okay.
He was
how old were you
very
at the time?
insistent on it. He was very scared for me. I was probably around 18.
Yeah.
So
okay.
technically I was like of age,
Yeah.
but he was very insistent. And that was something that was quite difficult because it was something I really wanted to do, like Titus,
Yeah.
and something my parents were saying I can't do,
Yeah.
Right.
especially my dad. But then we met in the middle where it's like, okay, I had to bring someone that was a bit older. So I brought
Okay.
one of my friends. At that time, she was probably around 23.
Okay.
So she was more mature, and and then I was able to go
Yeah.
because he was scared for safety.
Yeah.
So I
yeah,
can
yeah.
understand from a parent's perspective if it's they've never met the girl, maybe they don't know where you're gonna go for
Yeah.
how long, which areas, who's gonna
Right.
take care of you. If I was them, I would be afraid too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like finding that way to make them feel comfortable.
Right.
So
Yeah.
maybe it's making an itinerary or
Yeah.
bringing someone with you or making sure you call them every single day. Maybe that can slowly convince them to make this happen for you,
Sorry, but that
Yeah.
sounded like the plot of like Taken.
My dad was literally saying the reason he did not allow me to go, and he used this in an example. He was like, I don't want you to go to Germany. Have you seen Taken? He literally said
that was literally
Yeah,
the plot of Taken.
yeah,
Like
she kidnapped
she
her.
convinced that like an older friend was coming with her.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your dad does have a special set of skills, but not
not that
maybe not that kind of skills. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, but I think it really, with this situation, it also goes down to how much do you really love this girl and value the relationship.
Okay.
It's if you really feel like it's something you need answers to
Yeah.
find out if it's really gonna be something, then I would say do it.
Okay.
Yeah, but not without your parents' permission.
Yeah, yeah,
for
Do
sure.
it because it will put you at ease to know that you sorted this relationship out. If it
Yeah.
worked or not,
Right.
Yeah.
If talk to your parents, find out why they don't allow
Yeah.
you to go.
I scared the parents watch this and then say, you see?
yeah. They'll use this as
It's not even like,
sorry.
like, it's not anonymous, like it's his real
it's
name.
his real name.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Probably,
it might not be his
yeah.
real name, but his convince your parents or understand what their concerns are, and then if it's about a safety thing, like you said, maybe it's about bringing a friend along with you. If it's about they're not comfortable with you being alone with someone of the opposite sex or of the same sex or whatever it is, then you have to try to work out different ways.
Yeah.
To,
And
different ways to
another
do it.
thing I see is that Titus is saving up for the trip to visit her.
Yeah.
Visit her. So maybe if her parents are more open,
Yes.
then maybe she can be the one that flies down.
Yes. Okay.
And
yeah.
that,
Hey,
that
that's
and that money
interesting,
that you're
yeah.
saving up can help her come to
Yeah, you buy her ticket instead of your ticket.
yeah, exactly. So
interesting.
maybe you can try that way and
Yeah.
see how your parents feel.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, try to meet in the middle, or
Mm,
if maybe the next holiday your parents go to, just say Turkey.
yeah, suggest
Why
it.
don't we go to Turkey? I wonder what's there.
Have you been in a long distance relationship before?
Yes.
Okay.
It did not work out.
Oh,
Yeah.
where was the person?
No, I was in uni, so I went to Australia for uni, and my ex-boyfriend was here.
Okay.
Yeah, but it didn't work out. I don't think it was a long distance thing. It was just like
He was-
time.
okay,
Time just like
I see.
we expired
Mm-hmm.
basically. Yeah, but I don't believe. Okay, so my boyfriend now. He has a Dutch passport, so eventually he has to go back, and I don't really fear long distance. I don't know about
fear
maybe-
long
I
distance?
don't really fear long distance.
Has it been hard for you?
Yeah.
I wasn't afraid of it because even my first relationship ever was a long distance.
Oh, okay.
And it
You
was
just
in LA.
love long distance relationships.
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just pick guys that happen to be
Yeah.
in far away from me.
Yes.
I don't know what's that supposed to mean, but I wasn't. I wouldn't say I was scared even for my first one, because I know as long as I'm putting in the effort and I
Yeah.
love this person, I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure this relationship works. Whether it's seeing them 3 times a year or like calling them every Sunday to make sure we have a call, like long call. So things like that I plan and things like that. But sometimes, you know, it just doesn't work out because the relationship fizzles out or you become too much of friends rather than boyfriend girlfriend, and you're like, what is this, you know? And sometimes it could even be that other person just needs time to grow and you have to let them go.
Long distance.
That was a rhyme.
That's in your next song. That's going to be your next song.
How long have you been in this, if you don't mind me asking, in this relationship?
This current one.
This one.
This one. Yes, only one. This one coming to 4 years this year.
Oh, wow. And how much of that was long distance?
The three and a half.
Gosh.
Yeah, 3.5
Dang.
has been.
I reckon you have to be incredibly mature to maintain a long distance relationship.
Yeah, and you have
I've
to
had one.
learn slowly.
I was not mature enough to maintain a long distance relationship. Yeah.
What's like, you know, grand gestures or things that keep you guys going?
Meetings. So we always need to know when we're gonna see each other next.
Okay.
So that is something that's important for me.
Yeah.
Because then at least I know we're working towards something.
Right.
How often do you see him?
We try to see each other 3 times a year, sometimes 4 if we can.
Okay,
So to some people that might be quite little, but to me, as much as we can is, you know, that's as much as we can do. And
You
usually
go over, he comes over.
it's a mix.
Okay.
Yeah, and then sometimes what we do is go to a different country,
Yes.
Like a
because then it'll
holiday
make it more
together.
fun.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, it takes a lot of maturity, communication, a lot of ups and downs, especially for the first few months.
For sure.
And then you start to understand, okay, your patterns and I also realized that, you know, she's being this way because she misses me, you know, things like that. And then you gotta remember, texting is terrible. So when you're fighting and texting, it can make things worse. Just call. So you learn all these different things.
Not Snapchat. Snapchat's your
or
fight.
Snapchat, yeah.
That's the worst.
The worst way to settle an argument is through Snapchat.
And then it goes away.
Just 6 seconds. Actually, that's not a bad thing because you could say something. If you say something mean, at least it goes away after 6 seconds.
No, but then if you say something mean and then the other person hasn't seen it because it's long distance.
Oh, yeah, true.
And then you click on it, you're like, what? And then it's gone for you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what did I say?
Oh my god.
True, you forget.
that's
Or the
right.
next day you're feeling like you're like over it, like you're feeling happy again.
Yeah, true.
But you started a fight already.
In
Yeah.
the wrong time zone. Oh no. Oh no. Jeez. You know what do you do will you do meals over video calls together?
Yeah, so we actually do that recently for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So
Oh, yeah.
we're like, okay, we're both gonna have pasta. We
Yeah.
make our own like kind of pastas that we want, and then he bought me flowers and I bought him flowers. So we put the flowers in the frame and everything, eat, talk, and then what
that's
we
so
realized
nice.
it's like, okay, what else can make this interesting?
You bought
Is
him
this
flowers?
yeah,
Okay.
because this is like sometimes can be so boring, right?
Yeah.
Just on the phone all the time, play games,
Oh, okay.
fine.
Sims.
Fortnite actually.
Oh, wow, you play
Oh.
Fortnite?
Yeah, Fortnite. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I'll be, you know, on For You page on TikTok or
Yeah, yeah,
Instagram,
yeah.
those funny videos where the girls just like jump off the
terrible,
building.
yeah.
Yeah, that's me. And then not aiming properly, that's me. So
Yeah.
Fortnite, Fall Guys, sometimes watch movies. 1, 2, 3, click,
Okay. Yeah.
start, you know, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I wouldn't be afraid to do another long distance relationship, but I just think it requires incredible maturity, and like I still don't know if I'm ready, if I could do it. I know, but so I don't know. Sometimes you just never grow over certain things, you know.
I think it also is important to know like your love language.
Okay.
Are you a physical touch person? Are you
Yeah.
a gift person?
That would be tough, right?
Yeah,
Or
because
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you need someone there, of course you can't do long distance. You know, and
What's your top love language?
I would actually say it's quality time.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
so that's
like
why.
a long phone call is okay for you.
Yeah, long phone calls, but also a little bit of like words of affirmation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your new song is banging. Love the new song. Like something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not in those words. Okay.
Yeah, and then physical touch, and then gifts is last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Last words for Titus before we wrap up.
Listen to your parents.
Sorry, mate. Couldn't help you there. Listen to your parents.
Like no matter what way you go, you like whether you go or not, you have to listen to them.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
But imagine he's like 30.
Oh, don't listen to you.
Don't listen to your parents. Be your own man,
Be your own
Titus.
man.
If you're 30, if you're 40, then I don't know. Yeah.
And also hopefully your parents can see your side of what you want, and if you can convince them of ways to make it safe for you to travel or like meet in the middle, or how they can be involved, then in a way maybe they can understand where you're coming from, and then can see that as like this is something you really want to do. So hopefully if they can also support you in that way, then good luck. I hope it all works out.
Yes,
and it helps the parent feel secure in their decision, and also you that you're doing what you want. Yeah.
Final words for Titus. Like, have something that you're working to as well. Because if it's just like in limbo, we never know if we're gonna meet.
Yeah.
Or we're always gonna live in different countries for the rest of our lives. I don't see that working out too well. So just have some sort of plan, even if it's years down the line when you are 30 and you can disobey your parents. At least have that in mind and work towards that. Okay, I think that's a good place to end it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Where can people find out more about you? Where can people find out more about the song that you have coming out soon?
So the song they can find on Spotify, Apple, any music streaming platform, on YouTube.
What's it called again?
It's called Hari Raya Raya Raya.
There you go. Yeah.
And then there's also going to be a lyric music video out, so they can learn the song and things like that. It'll be out on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. I mean, nowadays social media is everywhere, so you can find it. Yeah.
And where can people find out more about you? What are your socials? Plug
My
yourself.
social media for Instagram is Iman Fandi 17, and then everything else is just Iman Fandi.
Why 17?
My favorite number, family number.
Hey, that's my
It's a
favorite
habit.
number.
Is it?
I always feel like
Is it
7.
your favorite number?
Yeah, legit.
It's my favorite number too.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh,
Because
good.
my birthday is 17.
Oh, okay.
Mine's
What?
18.
Oh.
My dad was a bit disappointed when he was on the 18. He was like, man.
Yeah, dude.
What?
17 literally, like, I feel like it always shows up in my life.
Oh.
Yeah. And like when I was younger playing football, 17 was like my jersey number. So like it's just
Ooh.
I can like think of like many specific incidences. Like once I was hospitalized, my ward number was ward 17. Things like that. Like it just always appears in my life. So yeah, there you go. Wow, we formed a connection here.
Yeah.
Maybe we got to start a new podcast, the 17
17.
podcast. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you to you guys for joining us on today's episode as well. And once again, if you have a problem, you can write into us at that link. You can find the link on our show description. Thank you, Iman. Thank you, Alfie. And thank you to you guys. Thank you to Audio Technica for powering the audio for this podcast. We'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye.